Okay, so for today's science activity, we're actually going to be making a little greenhouse to grow some seeds. So for the past few weeks in science, we have been learning about the life cycle of a plant, what plants need, right? That's what we did last week. And we said that plants needed what? Sun, air, soil, and water. Now, we are actually going to be growing a plant, a little seed, on a bag. Now, we said we needed soil in order for a plant to grow. So do you think it's going to work if we put the little seeds in here to grow? So this is going to be a bit of an experiment to see if we can grow seeds in a little bag by the window. Now, why do you think we're going to put it by the window? Think about it. The window will allow something to come in that plants need. Did you think about it? If you said sun, you got it. So like we mentioned last week, plants need the sun, right? So by putting this on the window, it will allow the plants to get the sunlight that they need. We will also need to make sure that our bag is a little open. If it's sealed completely, we can't let what won't be able to go inside the bag. Air, right? So the air is floating around. We don't really see it, but plants need air. So if we seal the bag completely, we won't be able to get air inside. So after we're done making the greenhouse and we attach the little baggie with our seed and all that in the greenhouse, to the greenhouse, you will need to make sure that your bag is open. If you seal it completely, they will not grow. I mean, if you want to try, sure, give it a try. But if you want this to actually grow, I would suggest you leave a little opening, okay? The other thing that plants need is water, right? So plants drink water. So we will be needing for this activity a little bit of water. Now, I'm going to reuse the water from the art project we just did for social studies. It's okay if it's not, white, if it's not clear water. This is dirty water, but it's okay. It's dirty with paint. It will be fine. So in your baggie, you will find some beans. So we are growing beans, and guess what? Beans are seeds. So we can actually grow beans. And once they sprout, right, we went over the life cycle. So once the bean, the seed, sprouts and starts to grow a stem with leaves and it has roots, we'll be able to transfer it onto the grass and dirt so that the full plant can grow. Okay, so we'll keep track of this to see how it grows, and then I'll ask you weekly for you to give me updates. So make sure you put this near a window that you're going to be able to keep track of. You'll pass by often. I'm actually going to put it on this window so that I can show you what it looks like, every week. So we'll be talking about this and keeping a bit of a diary through videos that you will be showing me. So you need to take care of your plant. This is going to be your project for a while, okay? So let's get started to show you how to put this together and what you will be doing, all right? So let's get started. All right, like I mentioned, you're going to need your greenhouse. This is your greenhouse. You will need the bag that had or should have a little tissue, or not tissue, a napkin, paper napkin, and your beans, which, like I said, beans are seeds, so we will be trying to grow some beans. You will also need some water. Now you can run to the sink and get this step done. And you will need colored pencils or crayons, okay? So let's get started. It's actually really simple to make this. So the first step we're going to do is write your name on the top. So get your black marker and just write your name. Just like that. And then grab your color pencils or your crayons, and color your greenhouse. Okay, so just take your color. Okay, and it's okay for you to kind of scrabble it, I guess. Okay, I'm going to change my colors. You can barely see it, but it's a light blue. Maybe I'll do a darker blue. Okay, so just color your greenhouse with whatever color you want. It does not need to be green. We call it a greenhouse because it lets the sun come in. So let's see. You can draw little things, put stickers on the greenhouse, whatever you want. Okay, just like that. Color it really quick. Now, once you have colored your greenhouse, we need to cut it out. I forgot to tell you that we will be needing scissors as well as glue, not glue, tape. Okay, so take your greenhouse and we're going to cut outside of the lines. Now be careful, we are not cutting this. We are not cutting that. We're only cutting the thick outline, so the outside of the greenhouse. Okay, we're not cutting the top. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, so we're cutting the outside, and guess what we need to do now? We need to cut this little dotted line. Now, this can be a little tricky, okay, because we're gonna have a thin line piece of paper left. So just get your scissors, hold your paper, and then make a little cut, and then you can get your scissors in there to cut around. Now, we have cut inside paper before, so you should all be able to do this without getting help. Okay, and if you do cut the paper by accident, that is what we use tape for. We can just tape up your greenhouse, so no big deal. Okay, so just be careful, like that, and here's the greenhouse. Sorry, Ollie's going crazy outside. All right, so we have the greenhouse colored and cut. The next step is going to be to actually grow or prepare the bag. Now the bag will become our greenhouse, okay? So let's take out your napkin and the seeds. Now be careful, seeds or your beans will roll everywhere. Okay, so you need to get your napkin. You can either go to the sink, bathroom, kitchen, get your napkin wet, okay, then squeeze it. We don't want it to be soaking wet, okay? Okay, so squeeze it, take as much of the water out as possible, and carefully you're going to open the napkin. Okay, just carefully open it, just like that. Okay, now your napkin is wet. You need to open your bag, put the napkin on the bottom of your bag, just like that. And then we're going to take the seeds, or your beans, and we're going to spread them on top of the wet paper towel. Okay, just like that. And you can put your finger inside the bag and just move the seeds a little bit. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to put my hand on top of it, get as much air out, and sip half of the bag. Now the reason why I'm getting as much air out is so that the beans actually stick to the wet paper towel. Okay, and they don't have too much air. And then I'm going to open the top, make sure that it can get all the way down to the napkin. Okay, and now I'm going to flip the greenhouse, take my baggie, and I'm going to tape one side of the baggie, the one that has the little lip, and I'm going to tape that to the greenhouse. Now the other little part of the bag, the one that doesn't have the lip, is the one sticking up. That way, you know, I'm not closing or sealing the bag and not letting air in. Okay, so now here's the last step. If you flip it over, that's what your greenhouse looks like. Oops, I did it backwards. Hold on. I did an oopsie. I need my beans to be on the other side. So I'm gonna take my beans out really quick. readjust them. Come on, bean. Come out. There you go. Okay, so let's try this again. It's all right. You might have done the same thing. So I'm going to get my beans on the correct side now. Just move them around a little bit. Same thing, make sure I get as much of the air out as I can. Then I'm just going to open it a little bit to make sure that air can get in. Okay, and your greenhouse is done. Now I am going to put a little bit of tape to the bottom so that it doesn't move around, if I can find the end of the tape. Uh-oh, we have a tape dilemma. Well, there. So I'm going to take a little bit of the tape and add that here to the bottom. So now it won't move everywhere. It stays all in one. Okay, so now once you have all this done, you're going to take this to a window. Okay, put a little bit of tape on this side. Okay, and you need the tape to stick up. And the sticky side is going to be here towards the front. And then you're going to take this to a window and click, stick it on. Okay, and this is your little greenhouse activity. Alrighty, have fun. Make sure you're listening to the video, to the song, and I will see you in art.